So here we are at the entrance of our finca, which we named Finca del Cielo, and it translates to Farm of the Heavens. So we come up a steep drive. Here comes the dog. This is 1-year-old Luna. She's a mastin and destined to grow a lot bigger. We have to take a bit of a run at this driveway in the car, and then as we come through our gates we have lots of trees. Close the gate. So we have a woodshed. Wood's our only source of heating in the winter, and lots of trees. So as we come up here, here's our little house, and it is very small, but it's absolutely fine. It's got everything we need. So as we come in, we have one room, which is our living room, husband, dining room and kitchen all in one. And then we do also have, just navigate round the dog, we do have 2 small bedrooms. The spare room doubles up as my office when I'm teaching. And then we have the little bathroom with the infamous composting toilet. And here's all the gubbins for our solar system. So we only have solar power. We have a backup generator, but we're fine most of the time on the solar. So we come out here and you can see lots and lots of orange trees. So as we come down, we have to duck and dive a little bit under the orange trees. We have our very wonky shed. We're quite convinced this wall's going to fall down one day, but I think we'll deal with that when it happens. And we come down to the veg garden. We've done quite a lot of work down here the last few months. We've cut down 4 small orange trees, and last year we did grow quite a lot of veg. To find out what did and didn't grow here, whether raised beds or seeds into the ground or seedlings, to work out, what worked best. So now we have a plan. So the framework is now complete, and next month we can get on with some serious planting. We do still have a couple of orange trees down here, and we have a nispro, and we also have a chirimoya tree down here. But the oranges are starting to ripen. They'll be ready from about January onwards. We usually harvest in March when we get the call from the cooperative. And last year we managed just over 1,000 kilos, which isn't bad going. So back towards the house. This is my washing machine. So I have this, and the large round thing there is also a washing machine that Rog made me, and they work brilliantly. Obviously we don't have enough power here to run things like washing machines or kettles and microwaves and all that, so we tend to do things quite manually. We have a generator here, which on the days that I'm teaching, if it's really cloudy, we can put that on so I can still earn some pennies. We have our apricot tree and more orange trees. So we come down the first terrace. Here is our very old car. It's 35 years old. No computer chips in this. It's all very mechanical, but it's brilliant for living out here. The front and the back roofs both come off, which is very handy when you're transporting big solar panels. And we have some seedlings growing here ready to go in next month. The rotavator and a little bench, just because we can then sit and enjoy this scenery. It is amazing. This area is the Apujaras, which are the foothills to the Sierra Nevadas, and you can see in the distance where the mountains go black. They are the Sierra Nevadas. Got a few clouds around today. We had a very rainy day yesterday, but normal service has been resumed today. And then down here, this first terrace is all about our olive trees. We have about 9, and last year we managed to harvest about 260 kilos of olives, which translated into 31 litres of extra virgin olive oil made from our own olives, which made us very happy. But we've had to do a big cut of these trees. They were so overgrown we couldn't even walk down here last year, so we've given them a big cut. But you can see the olives are starting to ripen up now. They'll be ready for harvest in December. So we won't have as big a harvest this year because of giving the trees a big chop. But then next year it should be back to normal. So just come back along here. It's the dog enjoying the sunshine. Luna by name, lunatic by nature. So we also have almond trees down here and some pear trees. Got about 6 pear trees I think in all. You lose count actually. We have 94 trees and about 90 odd grapevines here. So as we come back, we have a little terrace area, the decking area that Roger made, and we did put a sunshade up last year, one of the ones that rolls out. So in the summer it's very important to find shade. So then we come up to the second terrace. Now we don't throw anything away anymore. This was a vat that was in the Bodega. The guy that owned here before us used to make his own wine. Now we don't want to make wine, but we don't want to throw the vat away because it might come in useful. And here's our little swimming pool, which is a godsend in the summer when the temperature's 43, 44 degrees and you don't have any air conditioning. That's how you cool off. So the second terrace is mainly oranges, but we do have some bananas. And we do have a couple of pear trees and an olive tree on this terrace as well. It is a beautiful place to farm. Every time you look up there's just gorgeous views. So this is a big olive tree, this one. And the olives are looking pretty good on it. So all these pipes here are from the old flood irrigation system, which we no longer use. You'll see there's lots of little pipes running around the trees, and these are our drip irrigation system. If you don't live on the finca, it's very sensible to do flood irrigation, but when you do actually try to live on the finca, it's impossible to use that because it takes days for the water to soak away. So we would be living in a mud bath all year round. So here's some more bananas, and then here's the end of our second terrace where we have 3 or 4 more big orange trees. So they're all looking pretty good, pretty healthy. And then we come up a really steep ramp. Can't do this in flip-flops. Up to our third terrace, which are all mandarin trees. We don't have very many mandarins this year. We had a bad weather combination in the spring when the trees were in blossom. We had lots of cloud, lots of damp, followed by very hot sunshine. So obviously the damp makes the blossom all wet, and then the sun burns them. So very, very little fruit this year, but that's just the way it goes. We had masses of fruit last year. These vines here, they'll all be cut back in January. So they've finished producing for this year. And this, along here, we've planted vetiver. Vetiver has 3 or 4 metres of roots, so it's very good for holding the banks. You can see where we've had soil erosion. So these vetiver plants have been in for about a year now, and they've taken really, really well. So as we come up here, we have the chickens. We have 4 chickens. Ethel, Maureen, Attila the hen and Balti, and we do let them out every evening for a few hours. We have to put the dog on a lead and put her up on the terrace, so that she does rather want to play with them, which is not great. So she has to get tied up for a couple of hours so that they can get some time out. But I love them, they make me very happy, and we get 3 or 4 eggs every day. So if we just come down here, just down these steps, we come to our little bodega. Now this was earth floor and just horrible brick walls, so we've had it all tiled out. It's got a fan in there now, a solar fan in the corner that Rog fitted, so that during the very hot summer months this room actually does stay really cool now. So we can store all our food here. all our olive oil and jams and chutneys and marmalades that I make. So obviously we don't have a lot of storage room in the house. And then when we come up the steps again, we come to our roof terrace. So here's the first one. This is above the bodega, so we covered it in white stones, again to just try and stop the bodega getting too hot with all the food in there. And up here we've got chirimoya trees. There's about 11 or 12 in here. Now they're very young, so we've not had any fruit yet. We're hoping we get fruit in the next couple of years. They're really difficult to grow. They need hand pollinating with a paintbrush, but we have started to get some blossom on them now. So fingers crossed we'll get some fruit soon. So then if I come up onto the terrace, we have our solar panels just down here. So we have 3 large solar panels, and then over here we also installed a wind turbine, which was hilariously scary trying to put that up there. There was step ladders, shouting and heaving and hoisting, but we did it without injuring ourselves. And then here's our fabulous view from the roof, and you can see there's the gates to the property down there and back over across the mountains. So there we have it. That's Finca del Cielo.